Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to the channel. We are dilly-dallying, doing a little bit of side questing and digressing over here in the side quest playlist. And today, I just wanted to get out this video showcasing my ability in the wonderful realm of the Lemon Slime quiz. This is another weekly event. Well, not weekly. It's more bi-weekly. You know, twice a month, where you are able to guess and decide on which monsters you think the Lemon Slime is imitating. Um, just 3 levels. They give you less time and more monster selection through the levels, but essentially you just have to detect from the moves he's using and his attack power and defenses what monster he is imitating, and then you choose at the end for some experience and a couple of tickets. If you lose, you still get experience and healing items as well. And yeah, this is a pretty easy way to grind up the classes once you start to get familiarized with the game. Very clever way to help you study what these monsters do, because you know that's the name of the game essentially with Dragon Quest. Once you know what they do, you can cleverly and effectively counteract it. But yeah, that's what we're doing for our event. I wanted to talk to you guys today though about how powerful the mind is, because it is indeed pretty much the all-in being thing that encompasses our will to generally fight. You know, the mind is basically your capacity for mana, for moves, for active involvement in the game of life, because it is a game. And yeah, I wanted to give a chat into how powerful it is when you yourself are one of these people that I'm talking about in the title. Or if you are a bad luck believer, if you're somebody who just thinks, oh, woe is me, everything is always happening to me, the world is always out to get me, you know, that kind of person, this video is for you, you know. And I imagine not a lot of those kinds of people watch these videos, because this is kind of a divine YouTube pull. I don't think a lot of normie thinkers can make it here, but if you've made it here, you know, I hope you're able to take this on the chin, you know, accept a little bit of criticism if you take it in that way, and maybe grow into something that you want to be more. But perhaps you love being a bad luck believer and you love fueling these areas in life that will never help you. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, like I said earlier on, your inner really does shape the outer. Your mind is essentially exactly what, you know, you're going to get out into the world, what you're putting into it. And a lot of people don't realize this, but even if your mind is giving you a lot of bad inputs, you know, like your mind automatically goes to the horrible thoughts or the waves or whatever, you are not those thoughts. Like I said, it is what you put into it. So, for me specifically, I've always had bad thoughts. I've always had, you know, game-overing thoughts, life-ending thoughts, suicidal thoughts, the angry thoughts of me, you know, getting back at other people, or, you know, screwing someone over. I've always had those thoughts. And for the longest time, I thought that was me. I thought, you know, I was just inherently an evil person, and all this stuff that I do to try to counteract that is just me being a horrible hypocrite. But that's not the full story. You see, like I said, we are not our own thoughts. We are basically the observer of them. We are the architect, the detective, to gather them all, the ones that are necessary, and solve the mystery of what to do. Because it always is a mystery. I don't know what the fuck we're really supposed to do. But whatever choice we make in the moment, you have to go with it. You know, I feel like the main thing in life we forget is how long this motherfucker be. But at the same time, how, you know, you can miss it all if you make choices that aren't really baked in to living those moments to the fullest. So yeah, going back to the life is long thing, it's long so, you know, if we do make the wrong choices, if we do, you know, have a little bit of bad luck, it's so long that if we don't focus on it, you know, if we just keep moving onward and trudging forward like nothing ever happened, then it will pass at a quicker, more accelerated rate. This is just a fact of life, guys. It's kind of insane how this goes. But if you move through your losses really quickly, very fastly, not to hide it, but to take it under your belt and truly get to the win, you know, then a lot of the times you'll just seem smaller. But along with this comes the need to sort of be boisterous about our wins. And that's a funny conundrum that happens in life too, because I feel like if you're like that, then your wins will seem like they go away faster as well. So the odd complexities of life, you know, the hypocritical nature of it is that to truly feel satisfied, we have to win very quietly, very inconspicuously, and lose very loudly, very boisterously. You have to let everybody know about your L's and then keep your W's close to your heart. And I know this is gonna sound really weird for a lot of you. I know a lot of you bad luck believers, you know, you're like, but if I don't post it, then nobody will know if I won, you know? And that's where you really need to start unpacking things, because I feel like the main way to get to your goals the quickest is to understand the why behind them. Is to understand why I need to reach this goal, why this is so important to me. And for a lot of things in life, if it's just to seek validation from a specific group, you might want to change either your, you know, objective or your method, because moments like that definitely don't last when you get them. You know, first of all, let's get down to brass tacks. If you actually fulfill this goal of getting validation from this group, and you didn't actually like doing the thing that got you validation, well then as soon as you get the validation from the people, then it's going to be like a cycle. You're going to get the validation, you're going to feel happy, you're going to stop doing the things you didn't like doing in the first place, and then they're going to be like, well, we're taking the validation back. This is how it always goes. And so, on top of that, on top of the rewards not really being what they are saying they're worth, but nobody's really telling you that that's, you know, how it's really going to be. At least in my experience, that's how I noticed that the cycle usually goes when people do, you know, super hard task or, you know, Herculean feats for others. But on top of that, on top of the rewards not being worth it, you'll feel like an imposter. Okay, you will feel like an imposter if you start to get good at letting everybody else run your navigation, you know? And that is just strictly off of basing your fears of loneliness on the fact of other people accepting you, or finding your light to be useful. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, you know, endeavor to be useful to other people. I'm just saying that can't be your main goal. That can't be the only thing that you're focusing on. And I feel like that is why we feel like we always have bad luck, because the luck that we're looking for is not real luck. It's not real luck. Real luck is when you get prepared and you're met with an opportunity, and thus you take the opportunity from your state of, you know, being ultra prepared for what is upon you. The luck that we are looking for when we're constantly seeking, you know, approval from a group or a certain status or business, it's not real luck. It's more of like credibility, you know. You're looking for the place to be put into the place, you know? It's more of like a waiting room for wanting to achieve your goals. And I don't want you guys waiting for a waiting room. That sounds a little bit redundant, right? So I imagine we are all trapped in these same sort of cycles that allow us to just drown out a lot of noise that we really do need in our life. And if this sounds like you, then it's quite an easy shift. It's quite an easy fix, a turnaround, if you will. And I'd say it all really comes down to utilizing your time effectively. When it comes to goal setting, when it comes to, just finding those lulls in space. I really think we only believe we have bad luck because we use all of our downtime to like prepare for doing the task, or to talk to people about relaxation, or whatever. I feel like just following your intuition, and truly accepting that the defeats are your fault, and moving through them like they are a requirement rather than, a telltale game per se, where, oh, if I would have chose the right document, if I would have chose the right dialogue option, then maybe this would have went differently. Like, no, man, it's divine intervention. The fails set you up. Whenever you try to talk to that girl and it goes super awkward or whatever, it's like, okay, look back on it, discover what you did wrong. Maybe you did some things right, whatever. But don't dwell on the regrets in the past and be like, oh, it's just me. It's just the horrible luck that I have. There was no way. Maybe there was no way, but I don't think that's because the world has something against you. And like I said, guys, the gods of time have divine timing, and it sucks that the devil and the gods use the same devious tools on us. It's a little rude, a little confusing, and so many religious people will tell you that faith is just there. It's something that we always just need to have in our divine creator. But I understand why our faith is constantly shaken. Especially, I am in no way a 100% faithful person, and I'm so faithful because my parents instilled this on me. I can't imagine having parents that just don't believe in you, or believe in themselves. And if both of my parents are like that, then I suppose things would have gone a lot worse. If they weren't able to believe in themselves to a certain extent. But I think that's where the problem really lies. If you have bad luck, if you believe that you have bad luck, I think this is a self-trust issue at its core. I think you don't want to put the pressure of performance on yourself. You don't want to feel those losses on your own chin. You want a higher power to take it away from you. And yeah, I get it. I get it. Those without the faith will generally have the faith work against them. That's how it is. It's not like a just a strict buff. It can be a debuff too. Like a lot of things in life. Like money can be a huge buff. Money can be a huge debuff. It's this whole bad luck thing combined with faith. It can be a huge debuff if they think in these patterns, and just decide to adhere to the, oh, woe is me, I can't do it. My luck's gonna get in the way. And yeah, you gotta realize, man, if you are in those patterns, to get out of it, it's not gonna be a jump or a leap. You're in the hole. Okay, you're gonna have to climb your motherfucking ass out. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of falls back to the bottom of the hole on the way up, if you release your hands, and you latch off. But from my experience, this is not something that we should really endeavor to work against. That's your nature. If you are that guy who just believes that the world is just coming out to get or destroy them, that's not something that's gonna leave, maybe ever, even if overnight. Maybe even ever. But like I said, there's ways to work with it. There's ways to work with it, and even though it is your nature to be a detrimental Debbie Downer, stick in the mud, you can just take it all on the chin. You can be the observer of your thoughts, right? And like I said, your nature's always going to produce those thoughts. That's not going to stop, but you know what to do with them. It's like, oh, look, there he goes. And what works for me is really personifying it into like a thing or a person, a monster, if you will, that you are fighting in your own psyche, in your own mind. If you make your own monsters, then they have the power to hurt you or not. And so I personify my Debbie Downer feelings as some annoying valley girl who's like, no one's gonna watch this video. Your voice sounds fucking stupid. This music is ass and it's stupid, terrible. Oh my god. Like I turn into a valley girl who tells me that I ain't shit. Um, and then I beat my wife. No, I'm joking. But the thing is, you have to remember it's not that serious in the first place. And if we just take our losses, I feel like if we were all just a little less serious about how, crazy and important life is, because like I said, life is super easy nowadays, guys. Food, water, and shelter is all we need. And we definitely have that. It's insane how convenient so many things are nowadays. And when you are truly grateful for the steps that we have already taken as a human race to survive, then the rest of it all just kind of falls in place, good or bad luck. And you have to notice that, yes, the Lord has divine timing, and it's fucking annoying. And we may never know what the hell is going on. But being okay with it and surviving in ourselves is the first step, 110%. So observe those thoughts. Like I said, man, you're not gonna just be able to wipe your slate clean and stop drowning over the horrible reality that is your life overnight. That's not going to happen, okay? You're gonna have to work through it and really grind your brain down into proverbial dust in order to really detect why the things are like this, and is it a worthwhile journey? Sure, it might be, but the thing is, you won't get these automatic results and your luck won't change, okay? We're just looking to change our attitudes about it. Because just like this run here, where it took me like fucking 30 minutes to do the lemon slime quiz, sometimes it takes me like maybe 15 minutes or so. And I could chalk that all down to luck. I could. Or I could just say, I failed worse this time, and next time maybe I will do better. But I'm not gonna blame it on some other, entity or some other power. We all have the ability to be a little bit more prepared. And I did learn some things along this journey as well. I'm looking back at the footage and I'm remembering, oh yeah, the weird dance is more of like a candy box thing. The small fry having all the infernos and flame breaths. There's just certain things that you can take note of. And I think the power of writing things down and recording things and really saving pieces for ourselves has been not only lost, but also kind of weaponized, I don't mean to bring Me Too into this, but women, you're a huge part of my life. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not mad at it either, but I really do have to talk about how absolutely fucked your psyches have been basically every episode, because it's a huge part of my life. So with the red pill and women movement, a lot of us are very scared just to record things, write things down, to communicate as effectively as we'd like to. Because like I said, for me, I have a lot of horrible things in my mind. I have a lot of things that probably shouldn't be said to most people on my mind. And you think you write down this stuff, you record this stuff, you're gonna get Me Too'd in the future, especially somebody who is dedicated to the entertainment industry. But I want you guys to know, and this is gonna sound so horrible when I say it like this, but they already know. They already know. The FBI is, they're not even like an inch. They even dip their big toe in the pool of your phone. They are balls deep into your phone. And I'm not gonna get into it, but there's a lot of things, a lot of corroborated evidence that just tells us that they're a lot farther along with AI and a lot of things than we realize. And they wouldn't be that far if they didn't have the data from every keystroke, every website, every cookie that you have, that I have on a computer, on a phone. And if you use Google Chrome, then you might want to switch browsers if you're worried about, security or whatever. But we're not going to get into how horrible Google is. The thing is with Me Too, though, like I was getting to, is that, yeah, we're all worried that, we're going to get found out or come to terms with. And that's the thing, guys. If you have moments like that on the internet, then I personally think you shouldn't be using it. Because this is a divine tool, and people who aren't awakened fully, people who aren't completely woke and don't know how to discover and use the internet effectively, to find out who's really telling the truth and who's really, trying to spread their own lies or agenda. Because it used to not. I feel like maybe I'm being psyoped myself, but I feel like it used to not be as cut and dry as it was before, whereas people were, you know, at least trying to hide the fact or trying to be good about, just not using the internet to milk you dry of all your funds. But now it's like we're mask off mode. Like nobody fucking cares. And it's kind of crazy to think that we've reached this era of internet literacy where it seems like nobody really cares. That that I'm just a weird, dirty grifter, just only doing it for money. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's easier for me to tell when a lot of people are doing that. But it's something that I really can't connect with on this side of the internet sphere, especially when, it's so easy to just build up your own community and grind. It takes a while, but like it's like clockwork, man. And I just think a lot of people are just super impatient. Um, and thus we have this economy where you can get up really, really fast, really, really easily by just tricking people. By just tricking people and goofing people off, and everybody is so fucking impatient with the process that they don't understand. It was like, why am I not growing like this? Why am I not growing like this? And I'm like, bro, you're on year two. You're on year two. Can you chill out? It's not supposed to happen. Even the people who it does happen like that on year 2 or 3, they're still in their stride. They're still a little baby no matter what their number says. And that's because creatively, no matter what the number is, creatively you reach a stride around year 5 to 10 that lasts a lifetime. And I feel like this is what most relationships entail of. And so I say all that to say, your bad luck side is sometimes just your patient side, getting the better of you, because you're not writing things down, you're not truly taking stock, perspective of where you've been and where you are going. And that also comes from knowing why you're doing this. You gotta know why. There has to be an important why. There has to be just a why that means something to you. When you have that why, the rest of it's pretty much gonna come naturally. And you won't have to worry too much about forcing things, or trying to discover things, or trying to build passion or motivation. If you have your why, then you'll do it divinely. The gods will tell you, like, oh, it's time to go. It's time to fulfill your destiny, my friend. And you have to be okay with that. Be okay with, sometimes it's just not there with me, and I just made a bad video, so I gotta delete it. That's not bad luck. That's not bad luck. Okay, we were being impatient. The timing was off. Whatever. And I feel like just having more agency on yourself, more accountability for your actions, and what you did to produce the result that you didn't want, because we always do something. you know there are some people in the world that really do just do horrible things to people for no reason. There's sometimes when bad things happen just literally for no reason. But even in those situations, we can take the blame off of ourselves and just say, it's not me or my bad luck. This is just a lesson that I needed to learn. It's not even a bad thing. I especially like to do that when things happen that seem horrible for seemingly no reason. Yeah, I like to go back to myself and be like, hey, just had to go that way. Don't even worry about it, bro. It just had to go that way. And I think relaxing in those states, instead of believing it is some aura that is around you that allows you to never win, it just brings more peace to you. And isn't that what we're all looking for? Just a little piece of life. I think so. That's at least what I'm looking for. I'm just tired of struggling. I'm tired of feeling like, I'm being left behind, or I'm not going fast enough, or any of that stuff. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that style. I don't think we need more of that energy in our lives. I think a lot of people just want to understand themselves and know why they feel like they don't belong, or they feel like things really aren't lining up the right way for them. Um, and I think a lot of it comes down to just not trusting yourself. You know, I think that's what the bad luck is. We decide that we don't have the answers. This other person has the answers. And then when we do what they do and we don't get the results that they get, we call it bad luck. And that's just not necessarily what's going on here. It's like you putting all of your eggs in somebody else's basket and then being mad when they trip and fall and drop your egg. It's like, no, man. It's like you let go of your eggs. You have to hold on to them things, man. No matter where you want to put them, it's divine because it's you. It's your place. It's your destiny. And we can't deny that a lot of things that we do is going to be dumb. Really stupid. Some people are dumb. We still did them. Gotta take ownership of the dumb things that we do. I think that's the main way to grow in life. And you can do whatever you want. This is no biased opinion on what has to be done to grow. I've seen people grow without doing these things, you know, and then they'll fall, and then they'll grow again, maybe with a different parameters or whatever. But that's the main thing, guys. You have to be okay with having the moments where we do fall, so that you can come all the way back up, and not even calling them bad luck when you fall, calling them, you know, growing spots, you know, moments of clarity, because that's really what they are meant to be. They're meant to be spots that give you a little bit more you know. um, I like to call them vocation quests, you know, level up quest. They are put there to test us, like most of life is. But it can be a good test or it can be a bad test, and you really have to decide that yourself. You can't let the world decide for you whether it's a good or a bad test by its results, because you know the growth from your results is really what you're looking for. It's not even what happened. It's the person that you become from it. And from my experience, a lot of the times, the bad occurrences in life make me a better person than the good ones. Yes, this is very true. This is very true. A lot of times, the bad things that happen in my life make me into a better person than the times that I say, you know, did a really good show, or had a really good time at a bar with a friend or whatever. You know, it's the bad moments in my life where, um, you know, I lose my wallet and my keys after I'm coming back from the bar, or whatever, you know, and then I have to figure out how to get my phone back, or you know, I broke something on the way home, and then I have to discover how to, you know, how to procure a ride, or whatever. You know, it's those moments that really, looking back on them, provided the most growth. So those are the ones I'm most thankful for. So are you thankful for your bad luck? Are you grateful that you made it through every bad situation that you made it through? Really got to take stock of that, because I feel like the gratitude for things that we probably shouldn't have gratitude for, it leads us on this path of eternal growth. You know, the kind of growth that allows you to get later into your years while still feeling like that wondrous kid in the basement, you know, getting his shit done, working it off. You know what I'm saying? All that fun stuff. I feel like that's where the real enlightenment happens. It's just the eternal growth of believing, hey man, it's all me, and there is no one else that's gonna come and save you from it, from whatever tragedies you feel like is coming on to you in life. There's gonna be no one there. There's gonna be not one soul there but you. So if you believe that you know, there's some divine entity working against you, then he's not gonna like pop out one day and be like, I am your final boss. That's not what's gonna happen. It's all you, man. It's all you. So you can either treat yourself like an enemy and just believe that, you know, you've got this storm cloud over your head that you're never gonna fight, or you can treat yourself as a friend, you know, and act like you are communicating with you, and you're helping yourself at every point. You know, and let's go all the way back to the beginning. What I said, man, the mind is truly powerful. So I know this all sounds stupid right now. This sounds really dumb. To me, it sounded really stupid and really dumb as well. But all you got to do is believe. You believe in your bad luck right now, so I know you can believe. I know you can do that, right? So just believe in something different. You know, just try it out. You got nothing to lose. If you've lost everything now, then you can only go up. I've had a really bad first couple of days of 2026, but it's getting better. You know, it's like 1, 2, 3, bad, 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 then 4, good. Whoa, what happened there? A little bit of a difference there. So you got to know that there's always something different coming around the corner. And like I said, the brains are very powerful. If you already forwardly decide that it will be bad, then guess what it's gonna be? It's gonna be really hard for it to be good from that point. Really hard. It might be. But we can set ourselves up for success by not looking for the results. We're not hoping it's good, you know? We're hoping that we learn from it. And like I said, most oftentimes I just learn more from my losses, from my L's. So, does that mean I kind of hope for everything to fail? A little bit. A little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Which is why I'm not really telling you this is the right way to go, because it sounds morbid, it sounds stupid, and to a lot of levels, certain levels, I do believe it is. But I do think the general aspect, the general nature of taking accountability for whatever happens, it's important. I think lowering your desire for everything to go right is important, just so that we start, because I think that's one of the main reasons why it was so hard for me to begin things like this, or things of this nature, is because I was so afraid that, you know, I was just making the wrong choice, you know, that I was just investing time into something that didn't deserve the attention. And the sad thing about life is that we are all wasting our time. You know, usually what we're trying to do with these businesses and whatnot is just something that's going to make someone's life easier, or some form of entertainment, or whatever. There's not too many, you know, like there's not like fucking 8 million people trying to cure cancer, okay? You know, this is so unserious. This video game is so unserious. So, yeah, I don't think we're ever really going to be solidified in the fact that we made the right choice. And I know that's hard to hear for a lot of people. It's like, I'm never going to make the right choice. No, you're not. Not ever. Probably never once. But you will make choices that are good for some people. If you want to do this internet thing, you gotta give up the whole I'm gonna make everyone happy bullshit. It's retarded. It always was retarded. You know, if you've ever been the person who's driving and you've had multiple people in the car and you're trying to go figure out where you're gonna get food from, and you're the kind of person that makes everyone happy, you already know. You already know it's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's not gonna happen. And if it does happen, it was a goddamn Christmas miracle. Or somebody's lying. Which usually happens. You usually never figure out. Sometimes you figure it out like way later, you know, like 2 meals later. And like, man, I didn't really want Taco Bell that one time when we all got Taco Bell. And you're like, what? What? You're lying. That was the perfect meal. Yeah, but okay, so it's 6 o'clock. I do need to stop now because my parents are gonna wake up. I'm just trying to be kind of quiet here today. I apologize. I usually do these when nobody's in the house, but I decided to do this one in the morning just to get a couple episodes done beforehand, you know, as soon as possible here for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed a little morning ASMR voice. I'm hoping I didn't wake my damn parents up, but we're about done here. I am going to, this is post commentary, right, as well. I am going to finish off the lemon slime quiz on this last one. We're finally getting it right, baby. We're finally getting it right. Yes, yes, yes. This has been the Koopa of the magic variety. We'll keep on making magic here, guys. I am posting a video every day at 5. We got the shorts on EST noon and midnight, 12 and 12. And I try to go live every day, sometime, any day, every day, because I do like going live. But recently, over here, 2026, I'm toning it back a little bit. We will be doing Mashup Mondays, and I think our Mashup Mondays, now that we are leading into this next year, will be around a variety of games. I'll probably just try and pick a different one every Monday, but I believe I'm gonna upload this on Monday, and today the game will be F-Zero. I may have already played it, but if I don't play it by 5. We'll play it that night. I want to thank you all for watching this episode. This has been a fun one. If you believe you have the bad luck, just keep trying. I know it sounds stupid. It's like, just keep trying. Keep on trying, champ. But keep trying with a different objective. With the objective to learn. With the objective to discover. With the objective to understand why you believe what you believe. Because there's always a chance to reframe that, my friend. Always a chance to grow. Thank you so much. This has been Koopa, and I will see you next time.
Conversations